Welcome, Wise Chat. It is Monday, December 16th, 2024. Producer Henry here saying thank you for joining us for Wisecrack Live. I hear you all have a case of the Mondays. Dr. Mike will be in just a moment to chat with us about that. Let's see what we can do for you. We got Sasquatch here. Wow. The Sasquatch and the Wonder Platypus. That sounds like a band name. But we also have Amy and Anne and Rob and Quinn. Sorry to hear, Ian. Jelly, I have not. I'm actually extremely blind on Wicked. I was actually asking my roommate lots about it because never read it, never seen it. I like musicals. I've been to plenty of other musicals. I've taken musical theater history classes where we watched parts of Wicked, but it's just one I haven't ever dived into, I guess. I don't know. Why ask? Welcome, Shining Knight and Kitty and Emily and Sandhill Farmer. Nice to see you as always. Travis, I'm extremely stoked for it. Yeti adjacent. Interesting. Nikos, that's cool. Dang, sorry to hear, Emily. Welcome, welcome, Kurt and Penny and Anne and Barbara. Nice.
Oh, happy Monday. I have just missed streaming so long. It's been so long since I streamed. Um, I can't even remember the last time that I did streaming on this. What's up to Porkins and Dead Card and Rob and Nikos and Ian and Santo Farmer and Wonder Platypus and Emily and all sorts of folks. Thanks to everyone who hung out on the stream. What's up, Julia? The stream on Friday. Special shout out to some of our stream friends who
Yeah, you
came to the
ran a
studio.
marathon.
Yeah, God, that was tough. You learn a lot. I think we learned a lot, Henry. We'll talk about it later, but we learned a lot on Friday, didn't we, guys? Um, Probably the most fun part about Friday. If you didn't check it out, we did a really long stream on Friday. You can watch it. Chris Maverick, Urinator, Eric, Barbara, Sean, everyone's here. Like the stream if you haven't. But the best part about Friday was that a small crew of you, one person who I've seen in the chat thus far, although I realized the other people who came in on Friday, I won't say your government names. I realized I don't think your names aren't the names you use in the chat or when you're watching. So I actually don't know the connection between you and your online personas. What's this say? Okay. Oh, there's like a new super chat feature here. Oh, we'll use it another time. Um, but it was really cool to hang out and meet some of you in person. You were all very nice, like incredibly nice, normal people. Um, so thank you for doing that. Thank you for hanging out with us. Really appreciated it. It was a fun time for all. I'll tell you one thing. This is for sure. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying this to kiss ass right here. I'm only doing that again if they fly Henry out. That's my rule. Um, so I hope that's okay with you, Henry. But that's where I'm going to draw the
Extremely,
line in the sand.
extremely.
Because I visualized it. We needed like a desk to the side where Henry would be. We'd have a cam on Henry, and then you could be doing all the stuff you normally do.
Just with an
Uh,
like. Are you talking about like a desk on the side, just right there? I'd be on camera doing what I'm doing right now. Like you're just
you
watching
know
me
what?
watch you.
Yeah, well, it'd be really meta. I guess I was visualizing like like the Tim Heidecker thing, how like Vic Berger kind of like has his own little zone, and we
Yeah,
check in with
yeah.
him sometimes. I feel like that'd be your vibe. You know, um, for anyone who didn't see the clip she posted on what's it called? Twitter today. Our friend Kat Abu came on stream first thing on Friday
Yep.
and said that she wants to run a presidential campaign. If they don't win, she'll get executed on live TV. I thought it was a crazy thing to say in general. And then she decided to clip it and post it so everyone could see it. So good for her, I would say.
I think it
Good
appeals
for her.
to like the sense of stakes you need to really get Americans paying attention to something.
Yeah.
Just there has to be death. There has to be bloodshed. There has to be a winner and a loser. I was thinking, one way you could get people to fund a welfare state is, everybody gets money to make art, but once the public agrees that person has made their masterpiece, they get to kill the artist.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Um, One second. I know someone said a thing once. I mean, a lot of people have said this, that there should be a thing where if you're the president of America, that the way it should like work is that you get killed at the end of your term. So you So you basically have to really commit to what you're doing. I don't know. I think there's something
Yeah,
there.
you really have to want it. Like, are you willing for the execution at the end if you know it's coming?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like bouncing around like a freak. I'm in a different space today. Guys, I dropped something and now I can't find it. Isn't that the story of life? Isn't that the story of life? So today we're gonna look at some of this debate between two guys on the internet, and we're just gonna talk about it, because why not? It's the thing that people are talking about. We like to talk about stuff that happens on the internet. We have no hard set opinions on any of these people or any of the stuff that they're getting into. And we got a lot of others. We have a lot that we can get into, hold on guys, I'm just clearing some tabs. You ever just clear tabs to make sure you have room? Whoa, what is that noise? That was crazy for a second. Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. Let me just make sure. Sorry guys, making sure we're in a good spot here. I'm glad that my new work from home angle doesn't make someone want wine. I'm not trying to encourage people to drink alcohol. It's dangerous and it destroys lives. There it is again. Okay,
Some
one second
folks
here.
in the chat are asking, what we're gonna watch. Is it a debate? To which I also wonder that because I pre-watched it and I don't know. I have some thoughts considering some reactions I've seen that have treated it more as a serious debate or like one person's owning the other. I think there's some interesting reads going on of this video.
Well, yeah. So I would say like let's just do this. I think a lot of people know who. One second, guys. A lot of people know who famous streamer and debater Stephen Bonnell, aka Destiny, is. He's a very prominent person in that space. He goes on lots of shows. He does live events. He has a very, very popular show that he does. And then Adam Friedland is a comedian and podcast host. I think most famously, would we say, of the show Come Town?
Yeah.
And it was Come Town is him, Stavros,
And Nick Mullen.
and McMullen. Okay. So yeah, so that's they're two guys. And I'd say, they're two people that historically, um, you know, I'm aware of both of them. I haven't historically been committed to either of these people in any way, but it's it's a fun and interesting thing. It feels kind of meta more than it does feel like a debate. But let's just watch some of it and check it out. So let's just start. But I guess before we get started, this is Wisecrack's Case of the Mondays. I'm Michael Burns. I'm here with producer Henry. We do this every Monday. We'll be doing next Monday, and then we'll probably take a week off after that. We can talk because the holidays, guys, things of that nature. Please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe, set your alerts and all that sort of shit. Got some videos coming out soon. This week, we have the God's Not Dead 5 video coming out on the main channel. Excited about that. We have the video on SNL coming out on Wisecrack 2. And then on Patreon, we're going to have my live watch along of God's Not Dead 4. You do not have to sign up to Patreon with a membership to watch it. You will have to buy it, but there's a thing on Patreon where I think it's like $3 or something for, a full movie of commentary, a full movie of commentary by me. You'll get to watch me lose my mind. Just me in a little corner window losing my mind. The only other thing I want to plug while we're here is new merch. We have Wisecrack Live merch now. Do I still have the tab open so I can share that with y'all? Oh, I don't. Maybe I can find it. Did you see the Wisecrack Live merch, Henry?
Yes, the 666 hoodie was nice.
Yes.
I mean,
so
the
I'm
beanie,
gonna
not the hoodie.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this in the chat, guys. We have some Wisecrack Live merch there, designed by Eddie, guys. Eddie in the chat. So there we go. Allie, Come Town is a podcast. It doesn't exist anymore that some of these dudes used to be on. And shouts to our buddy Rob, who started a new job today. We hope it goes well, Rob. Rob, who you can see on the mega stream. And if you haven't watched Friday's stream, just a heads up now, there's like annotated chapters. So if you're like, I don't want to watch 11 hours of this bullshit, you can bounce around with the chapters. So let's see what happens with this thing.
Hi. Welcome to a very special episode of the Adam Friedland Show. As many of you know, we pride ourselves on being the last bastion of free speech in American politics today, kind of like a modern-day Algonquin roundtable.
Oh my God.
On the 26th of November, I had a
God.
discussion with the prominent political thinker Stephen Bonnell, aka Destiny. I invited Mr. Bonnell on our program because there's been a clamoring for a Joe Rogan of the liberal movement. Both of our names have been mentioned as potential candidates for such an honor, and there can only be one. And as you'll come to see, the answer is me. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
In the chat, let us know if you're familiar with Adam Friedland or if you've ever watched the show
our
before.
next guest is a prominent streamer. He's amassed over 1 million subscribers across platforms. Everyone, please welcome Destiny. How are you?
I'm good.
Let's talk. Okay, so you don't have to. Okay, let's talk about so your prep process before this. So you did a deep dive. Wait, so what's your conclusion? You think pretty good?
For like.
You're a big fan though?
For you guys?
Not you, me.
I give you like a 50-50.
But like you think pretty fire, no? The interviews?
Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, you like the one with Jadakiss?
Fuck, man, I didn't watch that many. I watched 2. I watched the Cuomo one, and I watched the Finkelstein one.
I thought you do hours and hours of documents and research.
No, I just read Wikipedia, and if it's not full hosted there, I don't watch it. So
I'm on the Wikipedia for the hospital that I was born at.
Oh my God.
As a prominent birth, St.
That's
John's Hospital.
crazy.
Yeah,
Where's that at?
underneath Mariska Hargitay.
Okay.
From Law and Order.
Damn.
She looked good. No, a little bit. No.
I don't remember that show. But
So I just really like that he tried to get Destiny to say that Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order looked good a little bit, though. My favorite episode of the Adam Friedland show is when he talks to Rob Schneider. I'll just say that and we'll keep
You don't
going.
watch shows?
no.
Okay.
I watch anime, play video games.
So
If you have anime or video game questions, I'm the guy. Okay.
don't know anything.
But pop culture,
Hey,
the awkward
420.
part is like Cuomo and you were like making jokes, and my whole chat is like laughing because it's like pop culture.
You
and
watched it with them?
Yeah, with them. I stole all your content.
best friend.
And I have to like laugh with them, but I have no idea like what the jokes are.
Did you
so,
watch it like at 4 times speed? I tried watching some of the videos, but I kind of like, I had a semi-panic attack. The aesthetics of a stream, like there's 2 chats going on the side, and you're like tiny. You watch videos like at 7x. So it's chaos. For someone that doesn't have familiarity with it made me feel old. And I kind of realized at a certain point, I was like, it's probably better if I like don't really do any preparation, so I could like in a natural way. No, I mean, don't laugh at me. You're on his side already? Okay. No, so if in a natural way I could like figure out like who you are and what you do, you know?
Okay.
Seems fair. I do think, there's the thing in terms of people having different personas and their like streamer guy version and their real people version. I think it's interesting to see it like, I think every time that we normally see Stephen Bonnell in conversation, it's often in the like streamer persona. So it's always at like 2x speed. So it's genuinely interesting to see him at more like human guy speed, And I think, yeah, it's a weird thing, like how the aesthetics. It was interesting when you talked about like, the aesthetics of streaming giving him a panic attack. How much like the speed and aesthetics of how we communicate about ideas online seeps into how we talk and communicate as people. There's this book. I want to say it's written by William Connolly, a political theorist who was at Johns Hopkins at one point. And it's called something like The Politics of Speed. I'm probably slightly off here, guys, but if you look up like William Connolly and speed or whatever, John Duncan's here. Guys, John Duncan's a great guy. John has fun streams where he gets wine drunk and chats. But yeah, you should. Adam Friedland's maybe an acquired taste, John, but I think you might like him. Got a video. I was just reading John's script today for a new thing he's writing for us, which I think you guys are going to like. I think it'll be the 3rd thing John's written for us. I think he's going to go 3 for 3. But in this book, like The Politics of Speed, William Connolly, political theorist, just kind of basically makes this point about how capitalism itself as an ideological and economic structure necessitates speed and efficiency. And of course, that speed is about the speed of production, the speed of consumption, and all that speed leads to the increase of the availability and production of surplus capital. But, he writes about how that gets into our media then. And this is a very cliche thing I know people talk about all the time, but, they've done these studies where they look at the cut rates in films, and by cuts I just mean how quickly we move from like one scene to another. And in the olden days of cinema, it would be like we'd be in one scene for quite some time, cut to another scene, hang out there for quite some time. But when you look at a lot of modern stuff, it's way more like cut, 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 cut. And the thing that Connolly notes in this book, The Politics of Speed, is that the economic speed of capitalism plays into the aesthetics of the culture and the media we consume under that thing, which then I think, and I don't think this is a point Connolly makes, but I think in terms of digital communication, that speed is circling back into the way in which we talk. Man, 69 DJ said, I'm suddenly uninterested in this. Well, I'll shut the fuck up then. That was devastating.
The way that's not contrived, where I have gotchas and zingers.
The abbreviated version is I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska.
Did you do forensics? Debate?
No. Is that the same thing?
It is the same thing. It's like
Forensics and debate?
Shout it
it's
out
not
in
like
chat
dead
if you
bodies
did
as crime
debate
scenes, but
and what they called it.
I was in it, but I was quite bad actually.
Oh,
I did
okay.
Lincoln Douglas debate.
That's like a format, isn't it?
It's a format. Yeah.
You're like more of a pro debater than I am.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
not
never
pro.
done formal.
I went to nationals though.
Oh my God,
Twice.
national
But
twice.
I went in speech because I was like a razzle dazzle man. But like in debate, I got
Razzle
too
dazzle man.
emotional. I thought it was like a movie. I thought I had to give like a Atticus Finch kind of. I didn't, but I have very.
Wait, did you do debate, Henry?
No.
Okay. I only ask because you're friends with Lux and Lux did debate. That's all. You're guilt by association.
Gotcha.
Limited critical thinking skills, so people would be like, you're gay.
Okay.
What was your first like debate? It was against a YouTuber, John Tron.
No, but I mean that was probably my first like.
It is very funny as well to watch people who don't exist in the game streaming, Twitch heavy space talk about the people in it. That's all.
Really big one.
That was like a come up moment for you.
It was like a big bump moment, yeah. But my whole career's been like pretty steady. Like I haven't had like big explosions, but the JonTron debate was definitely like a exclamation mark, I guess.
What was the nature of that debate?
Basically, as gamers and everybody was becoming like more political, I noticed that like JonTron was kind of tweeting some just like weird things.
I do want to shout out that we raised I think we're in like the 2000 zone for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. We did that on Friday during the stream, but we could still do it. So I'm just going to say if anyone wants to donate, I'm posting in the chat right here, the link to it. You could still donate and you could is all I would say. Let's see. John the Duncan did not debate. They don't do debate in the UK. They do. They love debate in the UK. There's what's the show? The Debate Challenge, where the posh uni students debate and stuff. I used to watch that sometimes. Sean Harriman, what I'm going to do is go through the emails. I'm going to figure out how to randomly pick them and just hit people up. So I'm not going to do it on the basis of how much people donated or anything like that. I'm going to try to make it as random as possible. But we are, we're giving out Yes Please Coffee and Verso books to people that donate to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. And just send us. You don't have to send us the amount, even if you don't want to. I don't make anyone uncomfortable. But you send us a screenshot showing that you did it, and we might give you some stuff.
I usually get the benefit of the doubt, but I see JonTron tweeting things like the Japanese are all Japanese, so why can't Americans be all American or whatever? And I'm just seeing things like this. I'm like, I don't know. So I start listening to. Do you know who Sargon of Akkad is?
He's one of the guys you've debated.
Yeah. But I'm starting to listen to conversation between him and JonTron, and I'm like, holy shit, he's programming.
Does he wear
guy.
a cape? It sounds like he wears a cape.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. You've debated Fedmeister.
Fedmeister. I don't think we ever debated, but he's a guy.
Esports Batman.
That's these are people in my community, yeah. Where are you getting these names from?
Ice Poseidon.
Oh my God, I feel like
all the stars are here. Pisco. Naked Ape.
Norm Macdonald
Who's
reference, I got
Naked
it.
Ape?
Yeah, crazy people.
Norm Macdonald reference, I got
Mine,
it.
yeah.
Naked Ape. He's a crazy guy. Actual Jake. But you've also
I don't know who a lot of these people are. I've heard of these.
I'm pretty sure you debated actual.
These are people I've tweeted at
Bob
before, maybe.
Seven.
Yeah, that's a guy, yeah.
Dick Masterson. Is that his Christian name?
I'm not sure.
It sounds like a.
I think his Christian name is really funny. It's not. What's not funny is to say that you think something is funny, but that makes me chuckle. Again, if anyone's showing up late, this is you're not late. This is Wisecrack's Case of the Mondays. Hold on one second. And
I'm pretty sure Dick Masterson was like an early aughts like blogger misogynist dude, bro, too. If I remember right, he wrote like men are
Isn't
better than women or whatever.
isn't Dick Masterson also the name of the guy from that 70s show who did like Scientology and sex
I
trafficking?
think that's Danny Masterson.
Oh, Clockwork. Realistically, I'd probably do Patreon if you're choosing between the two of them, because it's more beneficial to you, I would say. They're both like fun, but I don't know. It's a weird one to get into. It's a weird one to try to tell you what you're going to do. Oxford Union debates. Yeah, the UK people like debating, but they do it in a very particular way. Let's see how much of this we get through today.
Porn star.
It does actually.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like one a little bit.
70s style porn star. Yeah. Mustache. Yeah.
He has one, yeah.
Yeah.
Or he did.
Like a fucking hammer on him too. And it looks like your dad is fucking someone.
I don't think my dad looked like a 70s porn star, but
Have you watched like in those,
I haven't watched a lot of 70s porn, no.
you only watch contemporary?
Yeah.
I think like if we were going to say that each of these gentlemen has, superpower, Destiny's very good at speaking very fast and is very rhetorically efficient in responding to things. I think Adam Friedland has a really big superpower for saying pretty absurd and insane things and just remaining very natural while making eye contact. Which superpower would you rather have?
But you've also like debated with like conservatives like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next. So you grew up in Omaha, Nebraska.
I hated school. I was a really bad student.
You're bad at school, but
I
you're
was a
just
bad
naturally smart.
I don't know if I'd say I'm naturally smart.
You're pretty smart at like.
I'm decently smart. I'm probably a bit smarter than average, but I can sit in front of a computer and for 8 hours a day, like learn stuff and then argue about it with people, which is like the best way to reinforce what you learn. So
I mean, you made.
That's an interesting idea, that the best way to reinforce what you learn is to read stuff and argue about it with people. I think I would argue that that's maybe the best way to not even regurgitate, but like summarize positions that you've read. It just makes me think of the difference between learning as sort of like rote memorization and the connection of facts and learning as like learning to critically think through stuff. I think some of the online debate stuff, a thing I've always disliked about it is how much of it does tend to be not sort of a actively thinking through things in a critical manner with a curious spirit. I know it's annoying of me, but I do always think of like Greek philosophy here. I'm sorry, guys, but more of like a yelling different facts at each other. Because a lot of debates, someone will say like X thing happened, and then someone's like, but Y thing happened, and then someone's like, but Q thing happened, and someone's like, yeah, but did you know that D and C happened? You F. Rather than sort of like deconstructing the arguments. I think. Well, I'm going to hold off on something I was going to say. We'll see if it
A lot
happens.
of money from.
I'm really
right?
good at it. Okay, sure.
You're really good. What's your record?
Undefeated.
Never catching a no.
Absolutely never.
So Ali
Is there a
said, yeah,
time where you're
teaching
like,
I think is a
got
helpful
blown
way
out
to
on
do
points
that.
on that one.
Anytime it happens, it's
Yeah, I agree
intentional.
on
That's
that.
such a nerd thing. That's such like I'm punching
Well-
myself. I'm punching myself.
Yeah,
You
and then my
use
cheek
on
gets
purpose.
stronger, and then the next guy that punches me is like, fuck.
No one punches themselves so your cheek gets stronger.
Why not? You don't know that?
No, you avoid conflict at all. I'm not going to punch you.
Because you
avoid-
know that your fist will shatter.
No, you hide and avoid conflict at all costs.
Said you were emotional and scared. Was this pre-transition or?
No, I've always been a man.
Okay.
So the joke there, we're here to analyze the comedy and the ideas because that's what we do. Is this? Oh, that's not what I wanted to share. Oops. That was a sort of trans joke. So that was fun. It's edgy because it's a joke about being trans, which is funny because being trans is funny, I think, and having emotions. But it's meta because he doesn't really mean it, but it's funny.
He's saying
your
Adam is a
family-
girl.
Oh, see, that's funny because girls be emotional like that though, bro. So it's funny.
Yeah, they're together too.
Yeah.
That's for a debater. You would assume divorce.
Why?
I saw a video. You did a debate with your mom.
My mom is Cuban.
She's Cuban, of course.
They're very loud. They argue a lot. That's just like the way they are.
You shouldn't debate your mom on your show.
Why? It's fun. She likes to argue with me.
No, it's not right.
It's not right.
I don't know.
Why
My
not?
mom died 4 years ago. You should be nice to your mom.
I can be nice. That's
You
how we
shouldn't
show
tell
that
your
we're
mom
love each other.
that she's a MAGA idiot.
You shouldn't
in front of
project
your
your
fans.
trauma onto
There's a lot to unpack here. I wish we had a psychoanalyst reacts to this exchange.
other people. Okay.
You're
You
saying
sound
that-
pretty traumatized. Why do I need to know your mom?
Is he being mean to him because his mom died? Because I feel like what I just heard in this exchange was he was like, you debated your mom. And then Adam Friedland was like, you should be nice to your mom. My mom died. And you should be nice. And he was like, stop projecting your trauma onto me, cuck.
Oh, no,
Dad.
I'm happy about it. What are you talking about? No.
You're projecting it onto me. Like,
Yeah.
oh, why don't you treasure your mom? I didn't tell her I loved her before she died, and now I get
I did
sad
tell
when
her
I
I
see it.
loved her.
Okay, then what's your problem? I'll tell my mom I love her too before she
Now
dies.
that's the point of having a mom? Is you just drop a I love you for the first time right at the end?
I've probably said it once or twice before.
Were you
Once or twice.
a bratty kid?
No, because I was like a clone of their political beliefs, so I would like argue with them to like the TV.
They're
like,
conservatives?
We would, oh yeah, hard conservatives.
They watched like O'Reilly.
They're like Ryder. No, oh my God, no. I was
They're
happy.
Rush.
How about this? Everyone in the chat, let us know your parents' politics. I'll say my parents' politics. My dad is dead, so dead men tell no tales, and dead men don't have politics. It is what it is. My mom, I think, is sort of like boringly centrist and kind of like votes more on vibes. My mom's more like, she likes politicians who seem like they're like nice guys. Like if they just seem like a nice guy, my mom's like, I would vote for him. He seems like a nice guy. And I mean that means that sometimes my mom in her life has voted for conservatives who seemed like good men, but then she's one of those people who, since things got all MAGA'd up, is more like she just doesn't like the vibes of the MAGA people. There's some 666 gear for you. We got people, liberal. We got dead parents, lifelong Democrats. We have people whose parents aren't serious people. Michael Dudley said, "Y'all can't even take jokes." We can't. We can't. I'm honest. Like I think I'm gonna be 100% honest. I think that comedy is like problematic because, well, my mom's leftist and my dad loves Jordan Peterson. I want to go on a date with them and see what they talk about. Let's see. John's mom described her dad as the only radical communist who could plant a car bomb but worry about parking on double yellows. John, your dad sounds perfect. Your dad literally sounds perfect. And I'll tell you why John's dad sounds perfect. Because I shouldn't say this, but I very much relate to that. I very much have pretty radical tendencies in many ways, but then I also like following baseline social and societal rules.
No, I was happy because like 7 or 8 years ago, my mom told me, she was like, I don't watch Fox News anymore. I'm like, oh my God, that's so good for you.
I watch InfoWars.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually.
Seriously.
You said that as a joke, but that's true, yeah.
Really?
I was happy, but she went to Facebook and she was getting all of her news from like the memes and then like Alex Jones. Like my mom will send me texts of like, Stevie, look at what this guy said. And I'm like, Mom, this guy tweeted 2 days ago that I was a cuck.
That's
The biggest advantage of my mom being bad at tech is she doesn't have Facebook politics.
why she's watching. I'm kind of more of like a wild card myself.
Really?
You don't know if I'm zigging or zagging.
Oh, okay. Zag for me a little because this whole thing's been a zig.
Shut the fuck up. you
Okay.
fucking- This isn't StarCraft streams. You studied music in college. What was your focus? Like classical music, composition?
It would have been a performance major. I think
A lot of setup. Let's get into the hardcore debate,
in
boys.
performance, I played saxophone, and then I was a
Saxophone's a great
composition
instrument.
minor.
So you're more of a jazz man.
Like the girl studies to lo-fi hip hop beats.
We were speculating that before the show. I said I think he's an Eminem fan, and
Obviously,
you said,
growing up, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Major influence.
Can you go bar for bar?
Yeah, which ones?
Forgot About Dre.
First of all, hold on.
He gets him here.
First of all,
He
The
gets
Eminem
him.
verse.
I saw this
wait,
part.
that's
When
not
the
an
cops came
Eminem
through
song.
with Dre's-
That's a Dr. Dre song.
Featuring
Okay.
Eminem.
He has look at the big Red Bull. So he has a big Starbucks and then a big Red Bull. He is caffed up. I respect lots of caffeine consumption, so I'm not even judging, but he is caffed up.
Sure, yeah, but it's a
Dre
feature.
said next to burn down house. Ticky 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 Slim Shady. Hotter than a twin lady. Twin babies with a Mercedes Benz with the tink goes up.
Someone said we could 2x the speed. I don't know. Well, here, I'll 1.25 it. But past that is
Goes
crazy.
up to the mid 80s. Calling men ladies. That's what you do for your job, no? Sorry, doc.
That's really funny. I don't understand jokes. I'm anti-comedy, but his calling men ladies, that's what you do for your job. No, going back into it is really funny. Oh, but I'm offended.
But I'm being crazy. Do you ever go 8 Mile in a debate where you're like, I live in a trailer. My mama got Munchausen's. I'm gay. You should try that
I'll
in a
try that,
debate.
yeah. I actually stopped listening to Eminem because he doesn't say the N-word enough for me, so.
Oh, I thought it
Oh boy.
was because his off hot coffee pot freestyle against Trump.
I think there's an argument to be made that drugs can unlock parts of our minds, and that when he stopped doing drugs, he locked away some parts, like the rapping
Ooh.
parts.
Are you a drugs guy?
I'm not like a crazy
you
drugs guy, but I like, like mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, that kind of stuff.
You like tripping?
Sometimes, yeah. Not anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes it's scary, no?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you like realize that everyone in your life hates you and laughs at you behind your back.
Really?
Yeah, but then you come out of it and you realize you're the most popular guy in the you're an inspiration. So you dropped out of school.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because you sucked at music?
I was working a lot.
So within a year you were fired from your job, which you attribute to your difficulty navigating workplace politics and understanding others' emotional experiences.
Now understanding others, so he attributed losing a
We
job
passed
to
666.
Oh, hey guys. Speaking of 666, I'm just going to say, I'm going to do it. And yeah, is this like schemy of me? For sure. We have new 666 hats and mugs and beanies. Check them out. I'm going to post a link directly to the hat, which is my favorite thing. Our boy Eddie V, one of our community members, designed this. So I think it's really cool that it's like, it is like, is it like a product? Is it, are we shilling merch at you and capitalism and yada, yada, yada? Yeah, of course. But it's cool that Eddie made these. This is a real hat, by the way. This is like 100% real. This isn't a joke. We really made Wisecrack
Yeah,
Live
order them
666 holiday
now.
hats. Order them now because they're going to be unrelevant soon. Guys, this is why I'm bad at business. Because we wanted to make some new merch for the end of the year. We wanted to make some Wisecrack Live specific stuff. And it was like, hey, let's make something with 666 on it, which is going to immediately alienate lots of people. And then let's make it holiday specific and put it out like 2 weeks before Christmas to make it unrelevant pretty soon after that. I will say that I think the main black 666 one, I think you could wear that not at Christmas and it wouldn't look weird. Like, I think you could pull it off still. So get one and like wear it. And LP, that's awesome. Wear it. Send us a picture of you like wearing it around town. I think that would be really cool. Penny Waldrop, that would be awesome. Let's get back to these fellas.
Jesus.
Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia.
Okay. I had an issue on my night shift, and then it was not being solved by I did graveyard, and the swing people weren't setting me up for something. I had to do with like cleaning out the bottom of a soda machine every time I would come in an employee, and if they were good, they would immediately get poached after I trained them. And I come into HR, and I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm getting fired from my job. This is not me at all. And like, well, I didn't realize at the time was that email the one up in CC. In my mind, I'm like, oh, it's like an accountability thing, so everybody's not me at all. And like, well, let's go through these write-ups. And then she's like, did you come in 2 minutes?
Okay, so then you were an early adopter of streaming and Twitch, right?
Arguably the first full-time quit his job to do streaming, yeah.
So you saw the
Whoa.
No,
I didn't know that. I didn't know Destiny was the first guy to do it. I didn't know he's the Christopher Columbus of quitting your job to stream. That's awesome.
just carpet cleaning sucked.
How did you gain prominence? Or
I was like a funny guy to watch play video games. Like I'd like say funny things, argue, scream at people, whatever. Like that was my
part of that culture.
it's the experience.
And then how did you parlay that into debates or politics?
By the time 2016 rolls around, there's a historic, horrendous event called Gamergate.
They were mad that girls were trying to make video games?
It was just a whole. There was probably a legitimate complaint about some girl that had some bad relationship with like a reviewer or something. I think there's some like element of legitimate complaint there, but
I remember like in 2016, I was really out of touch with a lot of things. In 2016, I was an academic. I was living overseas. I wasn't really participating in a lot of digital culture stuff. And someone tried to explain Gamergate to me. And, I didn't quite get it. Kurt brings up a really good point. 700 viewers, 122 likes. Yeah, you guys hate us. They hate us, Henry. 700 viewers and only 122 likes. They hate us.
No.
Yeah.
Damn, do we have to go woker or less woker? Where's the racism?
Let us know if we go woker or broker. There was a really good interview. A good interview was interesting. I forget where it was now with Judith Butler this week. Maybe it was like the New York Times or Slate or something. And they asked Judith Butler. Judith Butler is a philosopher and sort of theorist, like feminist theorist, most famously. Like she's at UC Berkeley. And they asked her about like, is American politics, hot chocolate, not coffee. That's a fun combo of like hot chocolate and Red Bull. Like that would wreck my stomach, but I respect that. Like I really wish when people drink things like hot chocolate, when people eat ice cream, when people eat candy, I'm so jealous because that stuff makes me feel so sick and it seems like it's so fun. But in this interview, Judith Butler got asked like, do you think that American politics is like too woke? And this like very famous smart professor was basically just like, I don't know what that word means. And I think to me that was very indicative of like the fact that the word wokeness isn't a real word. It's a real word in terms of like its usage in black culture in America. That's a very real and established thing. But the way the word woke is used by reactionaries and white people to do political stuff isn't like a real political or theoretical concept, you know? Our buddy Chris Maverick's in the chat. I don't think when he was in grad school learning about reading stuff good, I don't think they were teaching wokeness.
Blew up into like just the most ridiculous, like,
Someone smashed a journalist?
yeah, who reviewed a game, I think. I don't even want to say the names because I don't know like 100% of the details, so I don't like fuck it up. But the problem is whenever you get on a movement like that, there's a whole bunch of riffraff that can come in.
When you're playing a game and you're chatting shit at another guy,
Yeah.
it becomes like a kind of embedded in a culture. Is that
Oh, a little bit,
correct?
yeah. Because you don't see each other face to face, so you have to ramp up the
That's all-
aggression
yeah,
as much
yeah.
as possible, yeah.
So you became like a left-leaning kind of
Edgy
commentator on
guy,
that?
yeah. From 2016 onward.
I do want to shout out Jerry Miner in the chat, who I think I saw your email earlier, is going to come talk to us soon. You guys probably, many of you know this. Jerry Miner has been in like every funny thing for the past 20 years. You either know his work really well or you don't know that you know his work really well, if that makes sense. But I think Jerry's going to come on soon and talk to us about comedy and the SNL and politics and basically all my favorite things in the world to talk about. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah, this is, I like the Between Two Ferns comp there, Jerry. Very much the same aesthetics. I wonder if I don't know if anyone knows this. I'm not deep on Adam Friedland show lore. Is it self-consciously the aesthetics of Between Two Ferns, or are they going for something different? I feel like
They're
some of
trying
you
to be
might
like
know.
a late night talk show from like the 50s or 60s.
Yeah, like a
But
Dick
yeah,
Cavity
Between Two
type
Ferns
thing.
is kind of in the same vein, you know, the public access interview show format, just
Yeah.
like two chairs in a room. I genuinely like the look of the show. Like I like their production value.
Well, I would say, yeah, it's. I like that it doesn't look like a normal online like a YouTube podcasty show, but it also doesn't look like it's trying to be a contemporary TV show. Because I think the worst looking stuff are things on YouTube where people try too hard to make it look like they are like at MSNBC or something.
Or especially with Trump, like every fucking thing in life is like political hardcore now, and like all of the culture was kind of moving more. I don't want to say woke because that makes it sound bad, but like to be more inclusive and stuff. So like Black Panther came out, people were like, oh my god, black superhero lead Marvel movie, and Anita Sarkeesian, and women in games and everything. So people just had a lot of opinions about it. Yeah,
Maybe
right?
it's because they so many people. They're like, we got to get some blacks in these movies.
The Wakandans did?
No,
Or-
no, I mean the executives,
Oh.
the Jewish executives in the Jewish media.
Yeah, Jews control the movie industry.
Yeah, it's like our Palestine. We invented it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing this 7 days a week for how many hours? 10 hours a day?
No, like my schedule is like 7 days a week, 8 hours, but there's a lot of other stuff I'm working on too. So like I do 2 podcasts and other stuff, so I don't always have.
The people that stream 7 days a week is wild. Here's what I think. Well, hot take on streamers. Does it set a good precedent when you work 7 days a week, especially if you're a political streamer who is trying to advocate for some sort of relatively just and fair society? We know that streaming is a non-unionized field. And then I feel like when the most famous streamers do it 7 days a week, it sets a precedent that younger people have to do that. How about a 4-day stream work week? That's what I'm calling for. Isn't it a thing in the news? I think Henry, you posted a link to this when we talked about it Wednesday, that in Japan they're doing a 4-day work week so that people have kids more.
Yeah, I saw the headline in the Financial Times. I think it was. Imagine a day off to just go hang with the person you love.
It seems fair. I think everything would, if we had a 4-day work week, everything would be better in many ways, especially creativity. People had more time to do stuff. I do wonder if the 4-day work week reproduction thing, if the idea is that the extra day off means people will have unprotected sex more, or if the extra day off means that people will feel like the freedom to have kids because they'll have time to take care of them without as much need for childcare, or both.
Probably both. Yeah.
Have time to stream.
So how much of your week are you working?
Basically every waking hour.
Who are the people that like
That's
typically
tough.
like make up that are in this community? Like
My community?
yeah,
or
yours. Skews male?
Heavily male. I think 88% was our last
Nice,
survey.
dude.
Probably heavily like white, just because it's like tech and politics and shit.
And they're watching 10 hours a day.
No, probably not all of them, not most of them, but they are watching probably for like an hour or two, which is a lot to consume of a person. Yeah.
Yeah. You can get pussy off debate?
Yeah.
Do you think has a woman ever watched you like winning a debate and just becoming, have you noticed her in the,
I mean, isn't dating and like fucking chicks, isn't that all kind of like a debate? Isn't that what you're doing when you go to dinner? You're trying to make the best argument for why.
yeah, but you can't
Yeah, I'm just gonna say oof.
win.
You can't win?
You debate women?
We all debate women. Life is a big debate
You
against
can't,
women,
it's
right?
not fair. It's no, dude. What happens is you're winning and then they cry and then you instantly lost and it's not fair. It's fucking cheating.
Oh.
Even if you're demolishing them with facts and logic. Is there one moment that you're like, you feel is a crowning achievement? Do you think that was my biggest dub, or like?
I mean, like different debates feel good, I guess, for different reasons. So like there are debates that are big, they get you a lot of popularity or notoriety.
Okay.
Debates that I like prepare very heavily for, and I feel like I do good, but they might not be as popular. So
This isn't a Stephen Bonnell specific comment that I'm about to make, just to be clear. I still, at the end of the day, I still don't get the point of I would say at least 51% of contemporary online debate dude stuff. 51% of it I don't get, at least. So don't get mad at me if you like some of it, but I would say 51% of it I still don't get the end game.
I guess it just depends.
What feels like satisfying for you while you're doing?
Speaking of debate, we did have our friend Naima Trout come debate on the mega stream, and I saw some people. That was the most interesting part of Friday for me, was looking at the chat during that, because half of the people who were commenting were like, this is funny and dumb, and the other half were just like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, this isn't funny, I'm going away. So that's fun.
Well, I don't want to step on any toes and open the most divisive issue ever for a prior guest, but I did a lot of preparation for the Finkelstein interview.
People said I cooked him way harder than you.
I don't think we ever debated anything of substance.
Not on your debate.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a 17-hour debate on Lex Friedman about Israel,
bad.
where some fucking boy is popping off about my shit. No, I don't want to go into substantive review of that debate.
Not, yeah.
But I did think it was kind of funny. Mr. Benelli, when he was saying your last name wrong on purpose.
Yeah, over and
it's kind of
over.
alpha.
It was hilarious.
Mr.
Yeah.
Benelli,
True.
you are, what do you say, fantastic moron.
Yep.
Dude, he kind of did cook your ass there a little bit, no?
You
should have like dapped him for that. You should have been like, that's bars.
Should I?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
But you're mad at him still? Do you get mad during debates?
I mean, it depends on the conversation, yeah.
You know, I've seen various clips where you're like getting
I care about the topics, yeah, they're important to me. Yeah.
It's ideological, or is it like do you feel like you're backed into a corner? Or do you
Despite the, I guess people saying my grift or whatever, there are things that I'm passionate about. Like the only reason I'm arguing a thing is because I feel strongly about it. I'm usually pretty good at understanding if I'm like really far behind in subject matter. So if there's a debate where I realize like, ooh, I'm like, I can't do this, generally I just like ask questions, I just kind of like poke and prod. So I've had a couple where...
Has someone changed your mind ever?
It's less common now that I do a lot more like in-depth research, and I kind of match my convictions appropriately more now. So like before, everything was kind of binary. It's either like I believe this or I don't believe it, and now there'll be positions where like I think this is true, but I'm like 50% on it.
It's healthy. I don't think binary thinking's good. We're working on a video for our second channel on the movie Conclave or Conclave, depending on how you say it. Who's mad? The chat is so crazy. The chat. Who's soft? Michael Dudley. I don't think I'm soft. I think I'm a classic alpha type. I think I'm a picture of American masculinity. Is how I think of myself normally. After this stream, I'm gonna go day drink and get in a street fight. But that's just the sort of guy that I am. But no, we're doing a thing on the movie Conclave. Movie on religion. Yes, vape hit of the year for sure. I love Vape Pope. I know he didn't become Vape Pope, but still. Is the left soft? Because you know what? I'm going to say something crazy right now, Michael Dudley. Was the IRA soft? Were they soft? Google it. Google the IRA and ask yourself, were those lads soft? Do you think that they would think you are hard? I'm just saying. If you're saying that like certain people on the internet who you talk to exhibit feelings or empathy, okay, I guess that's soft, but I don't know. I think like if you're talking about the left historically, like, do you think the Black Panthers were soft? Again, Google Black Panthers. Watch what's the movie? Black Panthers Mixtape of a Revolution. Watch that and be like, if I was in 1970 Oakland, I would have walked up to Panther headquarters and said, "Hi, you guys are soft." I don't know. What are you gonna do? Oh yeah, Kneecap. Great movie. Yeah, would you think the Kneecap boys are soft? Watch Kneecap and tell me if those boys are soft. I don't think they're soft. But again, that's just me.
Like Swade.
What is winning?
The other person deletes their account after.
Okay,
so that's a big question. I mean, that is okay. I really think this is interesting. I think the answers are. Oh, I just splashed water in my eye. Oh no. I think the question of winning.
Too soft to drink that water, liberal.
I can't even drink that water. I got a facial from that water because it just owned me and made me its cuck bitch. The water was just yelling, take it, take it. But when people talk about winning, I do think it's the important question for me. And again, this is like a weird meta performative thing. They're obviously just a couple lads having some fun. But yeah, I struggle to equate the word winning with the discussion of ideas, because normally we think about winning, like who wins, right? Athletes win. And how does an athlete win? You participate in a competition where there's points, and then someone at the end of the day has more points. They have more numbers than the other person. If you're in an election, you get votes. You get more votes than the other person. In conclave, they do pope votes, and someone gets more pope votes than the other person, they become pope. But to like win in terms of a discussion about ideas, to me, feels like the notion that you would use winning as a category to understand a discussion or debate about ideas slightly undercuts the very importance of those things. But that's just me.
Fired from their job? Yeah.
Like, how do you feel after you win?
I feel on top of the world.
It feels great.
It's like doing
Hey,
cocaine
what's up,
for the
Gary?
first time again. Every time.
I've never done cocaine.
Because you advanced some sort of political project, or you won because someone cried?
Honestly, it depends on like, I had like a thing, the 3 Ps: people, place,
Penis.
policy.
Penis.
If
People,
I'm arguing with like a
place,
friend over
policy.
where we should go to eat, my goal is not to destroy the person, right?
I assume that's what your life is.
Yeah, I'm like an ordinary human being.
Oh, I
usually,
thought you
yeah.
were like a cocksucker at first.
Jesus.
Our first interaction was horrible.
What was our first one?
When I went on your stream, I felt like it was terrible, and I watched it back and I thought it was unwatchable. And the thing that bothered me was that reading comments, there had to be like one guy who won a talk on a stream for 10 minutes.
That's just fan behavior. They always do that.
That's psychological processing.
But then I think if that's here's what I'd say. I guess I won't. It's Monday. All I would say is
No,
I
what
just
were
think,
you gonna say?
Well, I would say that like, yeah, it's unfortunate. And again, I'm not talking about Mr. Friedland or Mr. Bonnell here. I think it's unfortunate that the audiences of people like this cannot have to watch every interaction via that frame. You know, there was like the 10-minute thing where Friedland and Destiny talked, and they talked about like if they were going to talk, and then the reactions were like, oh, Destiny crushes him, Adam Friedland whatever. It's like there's just 2 guys talking for 10 minutes. Like no one has to win. There doesn't always have to be someone who wins. I don't know, just the whole thing here. And then I think if that's, you know, Stephen Bonnell said that it was, you know, how the community acts. But I think if you have a really large community of people that worship you, I think that you're slightly responsible for the behaviors that you engender and influence in that community. But that's just me, you know. I encourage everyone in this community to, what did we decide the other day? That no one can have sex for 2025?
Wait,
Is
what?
that, am I making
what?
that up?
That-
Guys, let
I
me know
remember we
in the chat.
wanted everyone to have a roof and not going hungry. I don't remember
We
the
want
note.
that.
We're going the opposite of Japan. We're just like no sex.
Wasn't there some thing where we talked about not having sex for like a whole year?
I
guys?
do remember mentioning going post-sexual, but that doesn't mean like no sex at all.
I thought we were giving it up, guys. Did I make this up? Did we talk about this last Wednesday or something? The original DDG, the Dry Dick Gang. God, I thought we talked about something about this. I know there's the 4B movement. We talked about the No Nut 2025. Didn't we talk about that? Yeah, Pizza Boy says we agreed. 2025 abstinence, Kat Abu's hour. We did talk about that with Kat. Because we talked with Kat on Monday about how people send her dicks, and we encourage people to send me
On
pictures of
Friday,
their
yeah.
dicks.
Send
On
your
Friday.
dick pics
No,
to
I'm not-
Michael.
I haven't gotten one dick pic after that. I'll hope that means no one sent them to Kat. But there you go. Ann Porkins was the MVP of Friday, by the way. We decided.
Of media. It
I
has
think
to be
it's really bad.
It's detrimental. It has
There's
to
a lot
be.
of artwork from Hitler that I like, and people can't separate.
Okay, so let's have a debate right now.
Okay.
You're the Führer Adolf Hitler. I'm the dean of the Vienna College of Art.
Okay.
Debate your way
Right
into
to
college.
Auschwitz for you.
What?
I would deport you immediately.
You didn't have Auschwitz yet, you fucking idiot. Debate your way into my college. So I looked at your portfolio. It just doesn't seem Vienna
I just
quality. You're not VU quality.
I just think pointing at a Jewish guy and saying right to Auschwitz doesn't feel great.
I think I have a lot of potential. I ran a lot in World War I. Did that happen yet for this? Because he was a runner. I was a runner.
I don't think that running has anything to do with your.
While being shot at. Don't the best artists
Yeah,
have
but
like
that's what-
traumatic experiences?
Yeah, but everyone went to war in World War I.
Okay, but not everybody can also paint a little bit. Why are you so stuck up?
You're not getting yourself into college right now.
Why not?
Dude, just say you're gonna do the
you
Holocaust
don't-
later if you don't let me go. Okay, run it again and say I
Okay.
will
If you
kill
don't let
every
me-
Jew.
Yeah, if you don't let me into college, you're going to regret it.
What? Why?
Because I'm going to kill at least 1 million Jews.
Well, I think that would be wrong. So guess what? Welcome to Vienna. You are
An artist?
an artist.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But then I get to year 1 and I just want to draw anime and then they kick me out.
They didn't have that shit yet.
Really? When do you think they invented anime?
After what those bastards did to our beautiful Pearl Harbor.
Oh no, Michael.
I
See,
think
Michael
when you
Dudley.
first mentioned us.
I want to say
you
that
said-
what Michael Dudley just said is totally fair. So Michael Dudley said, "I'm a black guy. Friends that make black jokes with me." Yeah, I think that's totally fine. No, I think like your friends making jokes with you, I think is a completely that's like fair and normal.
Different
that we make jokes with
context.
our friends. Yeah. No, so Dudley, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think context is really important. I don't. But here's the thing, though. I'm gonna say I do not think the two gentlemen talking right now are friends. I don't think these are like. I don't think these guys are friends with each other. I will say, that's not the vibe I'm getting. I think they're both in on the bit to an extent, but I don't think that means that they're friends.
It was a simulacrum, but I saw like a thing.
But I would say this too. Like, let's say I have friends who are Jewish, right? I don't. Nah, today's a lot of starting and stopping for me today, because in 2025 we're only stopping.
That was like debating my wife or something, and you said that was a meme from the right wing.
One of the issues today is that like if a thing starts as a meme, it very quickly leaves orbit from your community, and then people will like unironically believe a thing, and then
You didn't debate your wife.
Well, we've gone too far with irony, or we've gone too far with meaningless irony. We get into this on the video that comes out Thursday about SNL and sort of two different versions of irony. I've talked about this before. Maybe I'm talking about it because it's a good idea and the video is going to be good, or maybe I just haven't finished thinking it out yet. And it means the video will be terrible. But yeah, I think we got to think about irony a little bit harder and deeper, guys.
So where did it come? You had a breakup though? Or
yeah, we had. I mean, like it was a relatively public relationship. She was like a streamer person, and then I'm obviously a streamer person. We were together for 5 years.
Well,
but
and
when we
Mav,
broke up, so I divorced. I think somebody made a
I bet, Mav, even if you were going to make those jokes, which you wouldn't, you probably wouldn't make them on like a podcast or something.
comment like, "Oh, this guy debated his wife out of the divorce or whatever," and then I
And
see
you
people.
did. You went on stream and you like detailed like what you were going through for your like what led you to do that?
Basically, my policy is that like I'm cool keeping everything private, except if somebody else starts like making things public, and I think it's being misrepresented, then I'll make my side public. So basically, it was that kind of
So like a Drake versus Kendrick thing.
She was saying things about you.
I think her and her boyfriend had said like a few things, and I was like, I don't think this is true. So then I said a few things, and then it usually goes back and forth like that.
Didn't it, like I went through like a like from podcasting a breakup like 6 years ago. People are still talking about it online.
Yeah.
And it kind of like my takeaway from that was that I kind of needed to have like a real division between personal and private life. You kind of went in the opposite direction.
The reality is too is that if you're public about everything, there's not really much that people can attack you with.
But it's just like it creates a dynamic where you're kind of a
See, I
That's
think
a tough one.
I think this part of the interview gets at something with there's people asking why we're watching this in the chat, and I do think this shows us constantly like when given the platform to like improvise and like go for what he thinks would be funny, like where Mr. Bonnell's mind goes. But also just like I think there is something revealing in this philosophy he has about sharing or keeping public that speaks to why, you know, in the past we've said things about not knowing who he is or like asking what his like foundational principles are.
Yeah. I'll just say too, it's so wild when people get, this is the weirdest thing, guys. I'll be honest with you right now. So we have 888 people watching right now. Yeah, what Mav just said is funny. Like, people get mad when we watch stuff like this, right? But then they watch it way more than if we did something else. It's a real pickle, guys. It's a real pickle.
accountable to your politics debates.
I mean, I guess
And
a little bit, but like,
it's about a breakup. It's probably a painful thing, no?
yeah, but I mean, nobody online cares about that, so.
Yeah, but fuck that. I mean, they're the fans.
Yeah, but
right?
like, imagine if
I care. I think, I'll say this. I think Stephen Bonnell and Adam Friedland both deserve privacy, and they both deserve to have work they do publicly on the internet and not have to explain their personal lives to people.
some stuff leaks and I don't talk about it, then you kind of are.
You don't have to talk about
Yeah,
it.
but then everybody else can. So.
But I think engaging with that is like they're sacrificing some modicum of dignity, no?
I mean, it depends on what
This feels very real. This feels like an earnest
is
conversation.
worth more to you, I guess, is engaging with it or allowing other people to basically tell the story.
She was doing fake news at you, and you had to do real news.
I had to be the CNN fact check.
You don't have
You
to
know,
do.
I had to be the Reuters fact checker,
don't
and I
have
had to
to-
come in and I had to give that 4 Pinocchios
Dude.
on a lot of her claims. She had a lot of Pinocchios, you know.
You don't have to do this crap for these people. It's kind of like a
This is good advice.
blurring that line between I mean, like it seems to me it's like
There is no line.
there's no line.
There's no
but you're
line.
just watching videos and talking about politics.
Streaming is like a lot.
So you
That's a
didn't-
lot of a person to watch, right? You're sitting there for like 8 hours a day sometimes watching like every fucking thing that goes on this.
And this is what I know Garrett was in the chat earlier. Garrett worked on this video for us about streaming, and the point that Stephen Bonnell makes there is very accurate and clutch and in line with the video we did on streaming, that there's an experience people have when you watch so much of a person, that there is this like intense parasociality that develops, and it literally changes like our temporality and how we relate to someone. And as Garrett's video that he wrote for us on this gets into, like that can be cool and good, because sometimes you spend time with the streamer and that parasociality in the community you participate in can create the avenue for thinking about new ideas in a different way, challenging your own beliefs, developing empathy. And another way it can create a sort of toxic parasociality in which people become like obsessive and disconnected from reality in their sort of allegiance to the logic of one singular individual.
You have to take a massive shit. You think if there's no line, you take the camera and you keep streaming while you're taking a dump?
I'll draw the line at toilet stuff.
So toilet is the line.
Yeah.
Okay, so I defeated you. There is a line.
There he is.
Another victory, flawless.
job, nice.
Does it ever feel like, I don't know, like airing out grievances in
I mean,
public?
depending on, like in an ordinary friendship, somebody might talk a little bit of shit. Like, like I saw Adam, he was sitting extra gay yesterday,
Yeah.
right? And normally that comment would be said and it would just die in the room. But in a streamer world, there might be like a camera and somebody sees that. And then some guy goes over to, like Nick's stream, like, hey, or to your stream, like, oh, this guy.
See, the thing is, I think some of the stuff these people say, like, for example, saying like Adam sat gay or whatever, people trying to like get mad and cancel someone for that. I'm not about that, guys. I'm not about cancel culture, but I think I'm about acknowledging that some stuff's just like not funny and some people just aren't funny. And here's what I mean by that. Like everyone makes jokes, right? With their friends, with their family, on Reddit, whatever it might be. And that's totally fine. But there's just a line between like, just because you make jokes with your friends doesn't mean when you make those jokes for an audience on the internet that you should expect people to find them funny, in the same way that you might play acoustic guitar around your house. And that's totally fine and fun. And you have a right to do that. But then if you record yourself playing your acoustic guitar and put it on the internet, people might be like, this is bad music. Because there's just a difference.
Said that you looked so fucking gay. And then you might be like, oh, well, that's because he's mad because his dad, fucked him.
Who cares? Like,
It's fans and anti-fans. I'm just explaining like that's how like an ordinary interaction that in the real world would go nowhere will become like top line drama of like people going back and forth because everybody's recording everything and nobody watches the original.
seems like you're like intentionally
Go ahead,
like,
Henry.
in profession.
I don't even know how many people have like quote unquote real world interactions like that. That just sounds like a particular type of like frat boyish bullying that you'll go through in like your 20s. But like, even like the low hanging like homophobic jokes and stuff, like those fade away over time, or at least that's kind of my experience. Just because like even on top of like any kind of macro political or ethical stance, they just get boring.
Yeah. I mean, well, someone brought this up too, but I do think there's a difference, right? So like I was never the biggest come down guy, but like the people on, so for example, like say what you will, but Adam is a comedian. Stavros is a comedian, and I think comedy is, and this is something we can talk about soon. And I want to talk about this on some future episodes of the show. But comedy is like art. It is an art, and it has structural aspects, and there's things that you do in comedy that makes comedy comedy. So I do think to say that like someone said gay or someone said something involving race or gender or class identity, it's like the clip that went very viral recently from Anthony Jeselnik. I think we watched this on the show, and I think he said this on Theo Von, where he was like, the cancel culture thing is stupid. Andy Warhol said good art is getting away with it or something like that. And in comedy, the point is, if you make the joke about the offensive, sensitive, whatever thing, but if the joke is good, you get away with it. And then people aren't focused on, oh my God, they said gay. If what you're doing comedically isn't good, interesting, or skillful, then you don't get away with it. So like, if I just like, called someone, I don't know, I'm not going to give an example of a bad joke. I give you examples of bad jokes hours a week, guys. But yeah.
I mean, getting away with it, to my mind, like the reason like Come Town went so long is because there was on some meta level, like the character, like, Nick Mullen has very self-aware moments I've seen clips of where he talks about it, where he's just like, oh, you start out as like making fun of the guy who does the stupid Chinese voice, and then eventually you're just the guy doing the stupid Chinese voice.
Yeah. And a lot of people that I like a lot do that sort of comedy. So, let's watch a few more minutes and then we'll go. You guys can finish this on your own. You're adults. You know how to find it.
Especially in a Truman Show, that you're in the Truman Show.
I think when you stream it, you're kind of, that's a little bit what you're setting up for, yeah.
Do you see that as taking any type of psychological toll on yourself?
This is a fair question.
Not me, because I'm just so good.
Shut the fuck up.
But for a lot of people, yeah. So I'm like predisposed to being good in that environment, but for a lot of people, and even for me sometimes, yeah, it's kind of annoying. And if anybody wants to, like talk anything about me or whatever, everybody has an opinion, so, but.
Kind of the position that you inhabit, which is like Democrat Israel, is like the perfect kind of like, you get both, because the internet is so polarized, right?
The position you inhabit is Democrat Israel.
You have like rose emojis and then you have Nazis. There are a lot of Nazis now. Yeah, but inhabiting this position, it seems like, I'm not speculating that you're doing this as a business move, but it is kind of the perfect troll. You are going to have the most people that want to yell at you and then you can yell back at.
I mean, the
centrist community can't be like.
There's a lot.
John's going to get jacked.
Centrist parties on
jacked and woke.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying like
it's not the most profitable position to hold.
I'm saying you have the most people that you could like.
Yeah, but the problem is that when you actually want to fight with people, if you actually want to challenge people, those people don't want to talk to you. This is something. It's my whole career has been like continually learning this. It's like.
Well, but I would say, and this is, I don't know if this is what he's referencing here necessarily, but like most of the politics debate boys on the internet, no one serious talks to them. Like if you look at the debates that Bonnell and other people talked, like who they talk to, like Piers Morgan or whatever, like isn't like a serious person, and like all the debate people talk to him. Some of these weird like alt-right figures they debate, these aren't serious people. There's not actual politicians and activists and academics. I think there's some like decently smart online people who sometimes engage in debates with these folks, and I guess do what you got to do, get the numbers up. We all got to play the game. But I think it's because like serious people who are either serious activists, serious politicians, serious academics, they don't have time for performative debating.
In the beginning of this year, I chatted with I debated Shapiro, Owens, and Peterson.
All fundamentally unserious people. That's a 3 for 3 of just unserious human beings. That's the holy trinity of unserious grifters. That's not a diss on Stephen Bonnell. That's to say that Owens, Shapiro, and Peterson are unserious grifters.
Only because I was willing to like do it with like kids' gloves the whole time.
And you and Ben kind of liked each other at the end.
It was, but because it was a nice.
You both talk fast.
No, it was because if he says some crazy shit, I'm not going to call him out hardcore on it. Because I'm trying to be nice and like build bridges so we can have more challenging conversations. But I think the reality is,
I don't know if you guys caught this. Friday on the stream, Naima Trout said that Ben Shapiro was way nicer than Charlie Kirk. She says they're both gross guys with idiotic ideas, but she said Ben Shapiro was much more of like a human on that Jubilee video. So big shouts to the big homie Ben Shapiro.
Because he's ever going to be only because of the yarmulke.
You agreed to talk to them, but why you held back? Because what?
Because I think if you push somebody too much on like a core fundamental issue, then
we gotta stop the stream soon, guys.
They don't want to talk to you.
So you felt compelled to yell at Norman Finkelstein, who's passionate about the subject and studied it his whole life, but build a bridge with Ben Shapiro.
Studied in big quotes there. But I shut up. I was super polite the whole time. He was the one that was making fun of me the whole time. In my mind, in my stupid naive mind, this could be one of the coolest like conversations like ever.
You guys want to try to hit Dome right when we go off air, like the stream, see if some more people come, say really controversial things in the chat so the algorithm pushes people here. We'll hang out for another minute and just see.
This topic is Lex is a huge platform. Benny Morris is like one of the most like preeminent, has gone through the original archives more than ever. Wayne Rabbani, he knows a lot of stuff, and then you've got Palestinian
scholar,
and you've got
good point.
Finkelstein, who's one of the most quoted like Western, kind of pop historian types on Israel-Palestine. And I'm there to like add some flair. Like this will be really cool. But after the first 2 hours.
Oh yeah, we should watch this because he says that Norman Finkelstein is stupid, I think.
I don't remember if Lex has this on tape or not, or if he cut it, but like Benny and Lex are telling me, they're like, bro, you gotta go way harder, this guy's clowning on you. And I'm like, really? And like, yeah, you gotta open up on this guy.
But it's just like,
so then I start going a little bit.
So divorced from people dying in a war.
But that was Norm's fault though.
And I think this is real too. Like I think what Adam says right there, it's so divorced from people dying in a war. A lot of the debaters who debate Israel-Palestine stuff, it's like, what are you doing? It's like people like, what are you doing?
No. This is very frustrating.
Can I just explain? No,
hold on.
Shut the fuck up, actually.
Listen.
I'm not going to debate you on this.
Roll the clip of Norm going on Brianna Drag Race show, and then Norm is like, when I went there, I was just going to laugh at him the whole time. And that was his whole plan.
I think that you're prioritizing the wrong...
My priority is to have a good conversation.
Brianna Joy Gray's show. I mean, like, can you not, in an empathetic sense, understand that we were people that got dispossessed, killed, told that no one wants us, and then we see the Palestinians be people that were dispossessed, no one wants them, and we connect that to our, like, what we were told about our own history. And I think that it is...
That might be people like that.
Seems like an earnest point.
It's not Norm Finkelstein, though.
It is... His parents were in the fucking Holocaust,
Yeah, but he's a he hasn't studied or read any of this shit.
And now, okay, this is one that's silly to say that Norman Finkelstein hasn't studied or read any of the history of Israel Palestine when that's literally what he does. Literally what he does.
He doesn't know anything about. You're trying to give me this whole emotional spiel.
It's a war where people are dying.
He should have treated the.
When he says too, you're giving me this whole emotional spiel. I think that's another thing that makes me uncomfortable when people want to disconnect logic from emotion. It's like the Shapiro thing, like facts don't care about your feelings. And it's dehumanizing, right? Because we're not computers. Humans are fundamentally rational beings and emotional beings. And rather than those two things being dichotomous, I think there's an interplay of our feeling capacity and our thinking capacity. And philosophers have talked about this for a very long time. It's not me saying anything new or original here, but those things work together. And I think that there's a tendency amongst dudes that debate online, again, this is like a big Shapiro thing, to detach those in a way that is basically encouraging sociopathy amongst young men by acting as if their emotions are not a viable method of understanding, experiencing, and learning about the world, and only your reason is. Because again, if I see imagery of like an orphan or something, or a child who got hit by a bomb, and I feel really terrible, that emotion can lead me to wanting to understand what is happening, and my empathy can be a tool for my understanding. We can end there. You guys can watch this video later. It's on YouTube. You all know YouTube. You're here right now on YouTube. Thank you for hanging out in the chat, everyone. We can debate in the chat. We cannot agree on everything. Garrett Kruper, fake news. You don't have a book by Norman Finkelstein. Presto Besto. Are you a historian or do you work in that field? Guillermo is right. I do not host Wisecrack. I have nothing to do with it. But very nice people in the chat. We're debating. We're disagreeing, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, we're all God's children. We're all God's children. And if God doesn't exist, it means you're fatherless. And I don't know what to do with that one. We'll be back on Wednesday. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thanks so much to producer Henry for just existing, for being one of God's favorite children.
Whoa, how did that happen?
I just did. Buy some 666 hats and beanies. I'm posting a link to the hat, but you could find something else. Wisecrack is falling off. Sheesh. We are falling off the cliff, man. I got nothing. I've been watching this channel since Thug Notes. I haven't seen him talk to anyone important since then. Who did they talk to important on Thug Notes? I think Will doesn't know what this channel does. We don't like debate and talk to people. I mean, we talk to people, but also we have talked to some pretty important people. So, Marianne Williamson, ever heard of her? Almost president of the United States. How come the expert in Palestine? Oh yeah. Have fun trolling on your way out the door, friends. I love you all so much. Thank you for hanging out. We'll see you on a Wednesday. Bye.
Happy trolling, y'all. See you Wednesday.